Hey traders, let's have a market update. We're going to look at all the US indices right now. Let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Hey traders, I've just recorded the video walking you through my ultimate trading system. This has been my most powerful trading system for the last 10 years or more. You're going to absolutely love this. Click on the box above that says ultimate trading system and you're going to see all the details. I'm going to give you the whole system absolutely free. All right, hey traders, let's have a quick look at the markets and let me just show you what the charts are telling me. We can move forward from there. So let's actually start with the Dow Jones first. The Dow Jones, once again, guys, has had this enormous run up, and now we're just pausing through here on the Dow Jones. I've been saying for the last few days that I believe a pullback is going to happen, and I still do believe that, guys. So you can see this big run up, and now we've just paused through here. And guys, it's really interesting. If this is going to be a top, this is very, very, very identical to, or very, very similar to what happened in 2008. And if I go back to the top back in 2008, let me show you what this is a weekly chart, by the way, here. And I'll get to the current present in a moment. But if I show you this weekly, look at this here, guys. Look at this here. And this is, and again, guys, it all goes down to really, really, really simple. If you guys are say, oh, John, the market's rigged, you can't guess it, you can't understand it, you can't this, you can't that. It's like, that is total bullshit. That is total bullshit. Shite. Because guys, if you look at the market, as the flows, you can actually see what the market's doing. Now, sometimes there may be a bit of confusion because there's not really, you can't really see what's happening with the market. But you know, there's a lot of confusion here. So you actually can see that this was the high up the top here, and the market ran up, broke a new high, and then we started the descent, and then that's what started this move down through here. Went sideways, ran back up, and then we started this overall free fall to the downside. So as you can see, guys, if we just go back to the simple peaks and troughs in those analysis, you can see that we actually had this trough through here. We had this peak, which was sort of like a high peak through there as well. Came down, made this trough. What is this through here? And I know what is that through there? It's a lower peak, right? Now again, guys, we're looking at the weekly chart here, and this is the most important thing, guys. Okay, the most important thing to understand is when you're looking at the charts and when you're reading the chart, look at those peaks and troughs because they're showing you what's happening, especially on the weekly chart. Okay, the weekly chart's showing you. Now you don't know whether that's going to be a lower peak. But the thing is, guys, is this, right? We have a trough, bit of a double bottom through there. But look what, and this is where you start to get a bit more of an insight. The market goes here, the market breaks down, the market starts to break down through here. So as this market is spending the next couple of weeks coming down through there, now what is this confirmed? A lower peak, right? So now we have a double bottom being broken and a lower peak. Who's in control? The sellers are in control, right? And you can see the market ran up. You can see the market actually ran right back up to this resistance level, failed once again, and then what happened once again, guys? As you can see, let me go back to here. This now become a major trough through here. It did bounce twice, but the way that I look at it, guys, is you got to look at the market as a sort of like a wave. It flows. You know what I mean? So if the market does. Let me just draw this little chart here. The way that I see this, if the market does this, so you can see what if the market does that, say on a weekly chart. Well, the way that I see that, the way that I understand that is I look at the major waves. I don't look at the little ones. I look at the major waves. Now, on the daily chart, guys, it's really important that we actually start to look at those charts differently, right? Because again, guys, you want to see what the overall flow of the market is. So the way that I see this is this, right? We had this, that was one move up, that was one move down, that was one move up, and that's one move down. Makes sense? So you can see the reason why I've done what I've done. And if I go there, let me actually make this a bit thicker. Is that thick? Yeah. So you can see the reason why I'll go a wave down, a wave up, a wave down, wave up, overall wave down, wave up, wave down, wave up, wave down. Can you see that through there? And you can clearly see these peaks and troughs on the chart, right? And the market starts to flow down. So the purpose of me saying that, guys, we made a final high before we started to roll over here back in 2008. And this actually was, there goes my chart again. So that was going back to 2008, and you can see that we had one last final push to new highs before we break down. Now, guys, the reason why I'm telling you that is this, okay? The reason why I'm saying this, the reason why I'm telling you that sort of picture and that sort of analysis, guys, is because you can see what happens, right? You can see, and I want you to understand this formation, because as the weeks develop from this video, watch what the market is telling you. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to try to predict anything, because you can't predict anything, right? You just can't. I'm not going to predict anything. But what I am going to do is I'm going to watch what the market is telling me. Are we starting to break down? So the first sign for me, guys, as we saw back here in 2007, what was it? What was the very first sign? Well, if we go back up to the top here, we made this was the previous high. The market ran up to new highs and then failed. You see how this market failed up top here? That's the very first sign, and then we started creating low peaks, low troughs. Now let's go back to today's present market. Again, guys, we don't know what's going to happen, but we can just flow with what the market's telling us. So, by looking at this overall weekly chart where we're at right now, you can see that the market's had a big run up, and you can see even just on the very, very close bar, you can see it had no follow through last week. We had a big move up and then failed. You know what I mean? It's like, that's telling you something once again, right? Because if we have a big move up and then we fail, it's like there's not much movement behind that. There's not much strength behind that. Make sense, guys? So that's what I'm looking for. So that, as I was saying back in 2008, we want to flow with what the market is telling us, and so far the market is flowing to the upside. There's no doubt about that. Okay, guys, there is no doubt about that. The market has flowed up, and then we flowed down, and we flowed up, and we flowed down, and now we're flowing back up again. So that is the progression of this major weekly chart. There's no doubt about that. We're still pushing these major highs, and I was actually watching that around here as well too, to see if we actually got that. The market was continuing to slowly step down on the daily chart, but then when the market reversed, election came out. I didn't expect it to happen that quickly, but within a few days we made new highs. But in any event, guys, this is what I'm looking out for to see if this is going to be a top. We don't know. This thing could just keep blasting off. But you've just got to bend and mold with the market. Right now, guys, the market is very strong. It's like, yeah. But I say that with a caveat. The reason why I say that is, guys, listen to me. Right now, the market is very, very strong on the weekly chart. But that daily chart for me, guys, are way, way, way overextended. We've just gone up so fast, so hard. We're likely to get a nice, decent pullback. Okay? That's the caveat what I'm saying there. So if this is likely to be some sort of a topping formation, the very first thing I'm looking out for, guys, is do we get a weekly close below this level through here? Because last time we were here, we had this weekly resistance through here, and the market, you can see, guys, the market actually ran up and broke back above resistance, and then the market, and if the market does, say for example this week, if the market does start to break down and we do get a weekly close below this level, that's the first sign that the market is starting to fail, right? Because we couldn't hold previous highs. Now, guys, it doesn't mean, all right, it doesn't mean that it's going to be the end of the top. What do we need now? What do we now need? We now need the market to fail. And if we break below this now 18,000 level and we create this lower trough, again, guys, what am I doing here? I'm not guessing. I'm just saying, if this scenario happens, we can be on the ball about the trend changing. What is that trend? You can see here, guys, let's go black. We've had this trough. We've had this major trough. And now we had this major trough. If that is broken, guys, if those troughs are broken, the trend is changing. There is no doubt about that. That is the black and white evidence. That's what the market is telling us. Right now, the market has ran up and we're stalling. I think we're likely to get a pullback because it's like an elastic band. The market is extended so far. So I think we're likely to get a pullback. But if we do get a weekly close back below this high up here, guys, that is the first sign that the market is showing weakness. The second sign that you want to see that not only is the market showing weakness, but now we potentially start to change trends, is we get a nice weekly close below the 18,000. Because if we do that, then we're likely to start rallying back up to this area of resistance on a weekly chart, and then we're likely to start heading back down. Again, why? Because we're breaking past that sort of trough there. And if you look at the market as a whole, guys, you can see here that we had this sort of move up from here, a move down. Then we had a move up, then we had a move down, we had a wave up, we had a wave down, we had a wave up, and we've had a wave down, and now we've had a wave up. All right, so the market's if the market does have a wave down, and just say, for example, we'll go through there, can you see how that's changing, right? Because yes, the market was, you can see here the market was showing a lot of indecision, a lot of confusion. Why? Because if I go back to, we had this overall major peak, we had this trough, we had this was sort of like a lower peak, slight lower peak, but close to a double top. Then we had a double bottom, then we had another top, then we had this higher trough, now we had this higher peak. Can you see this market? Now it's forming another higher trough. So the overall flow of this market is starting to pick back up in strength. The overall flow of that market. But guys, if this is starting to form a bit of a topping formation here, the market's going to show us that. Does that make sense, guys? So again, guys, and this video, as much as for me as for you guys, because I need to keep reminding myself to go back to the basics of what these charts are telling me. And especially these weekly charts, right? These weekly charts are the king. So that's what I'm looking there for, guys. And you can see, as I flow that market, you can see how the market is starting to show you what's going on through here. And we can see back in the past, yes, but when we start to analyze what's happening in the current scenario, or current situation, we can see what's going on through there. So that's the Dow Jones. Let's go have a look at S&P. So the S&P, once again, guys, has also done the same thing. It's rallied back up. We've now tested this underlying area of resistance, underlay, and now we're actually just breaking up to new highs. Once again, guys, even on the S&P. So the reason why I just stopped then, guys, is because of this. There's so much to reading charts. There really is. And the better we can read the chart, the better we can try to be. We can see the overall flow of the weekly chart is pressing higher. But if we go back to the daily chart, there's some sort of analysis, and I was talking about this last week. You can see how this market's ran up, and now we're starting to form this sort of flag. I'm expecting the market to start to come off. I'm expecting the market to start to pull back. And the question is that when it does pull back, or if it does pull back, because we never know, but that's sort of this sort of setup here, I believe we're likely to get a pullback. You know, the last couple of days are saying the pullback's likely to start to happen soon, and someone said, John, you're totally wrong. The pullback didn't happen. I'm like, I didn't say now. I'm just saying that I see that this market is likely to start pulling back soon. We don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but the patterns showing that. I believe this week we're going to get the pullback. Now the question is that if we do get the pullback, that's one, the if, because we never know, how far does it go? And as I said before, guys, on the other charts, if we do break and we break below this low through here, what is this now confirming? We're now starting to break a lower trough. That is the key. And do we rally back up, test resistance, start back down? That is the key for me. And especially again, going back on that weekly chart, that is the ultimate key for me, guys, that I'm looking for. Are we starting to change trends overall? And that's exactly what I'm looking for. Let's go have a look at the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq ran up to all-time new highs again, and it just fell through there. The volume is actually tapering off. Let's have a look at that weekly chart. Weekly chart, very, very nice, strong higher close. Do we actually break back up to new highs or not? That's the really, really interesting thing to see what's going on through there. Let's see here, the VIX. The VIX is actually pulling back a lot as well too. I'm still in that VIX, by the way, and I'm not too worried about this overall big pullback, guys, because again, guys, my overall strategy with the VIX is a long term, and I'm happy to keep rolling that out to get what I'm after. Same for the transportation average. We've had this big run up, and we're still pushing up higher. Again, guys, I see a pullback happening soon. For all the reasons I talked about last week, we're getting tapering off volume, we've got indicators and so on and so forth, we've got an overall stretched market, we're due for a pullback anyway. Everything is leading to a nice pullback anyway, guys. Same for the Russell 3000. Look how fast and vertical this move is. Guys, go back in time. Don't take my word for it. Go back in time. Whenever you get a fast and vertical move like that, we generally get a hard and fast snapback. All right, so expect the pullback this week. And look at this here. Look at this here. Isn't this interesting, guys? Oh, this market's been going up, but the volume's been tapering off. What's that saying? That this, to me, this is just, there's no volume behind this. But you watch, guys. You watch. You watch. This is what's likely going to happen. The market will come off. We'll get a big volume spike, and then we'll start to get some really big, strong selling, and we'll get even some more selling volume coming into it as well too. That's the supporting thing. Whenever the market makes a move in direction, and you get a tapering off volume, there's no supportive evidence, and I call that like a false rally. If the market's been a false rally, to me, for the market to continue moving forward, we need some big buying movement, right? We need a lot of buys to hold that up. But if the market's moving up and the volume's tapering down, that's telling you something. And then also the Russell 2000, which is even more worse. As you can see, guys, look how fast that's moved up. Again, guys, if you go back to my last week's video, if you see something that moves up that quickly, that's telling you something. That's like, oh, warning, you know? It's like, get away from that thing, because you can actually see what's going on with that market. You can see that this is overextended, guys. This is the important things, guys, that we actually, when we're starting to read the charts, every day I'm trying to look for these things. Because the market is like an elastic band. If we get a nice move up, we're likely to get a snap back. But again, it's not just a slow move up. One thing I've learned this year, guys, in the markets is that if the market just starts to crawl up like that, slowly, that's just the slowly stepping moving up. But if the market suddenly just explodes up like that, then yeah, then we're due, and we're likely to get a fast and hard snap back in the market. Make sense, guys? And again, guys, just look at what the overall weekly chart's doing. And again, guys, being TLS, Tesla. Let me bring up Tesla. You guys know I've talked about Tesla a while ago, but looking at the daily chart here, looking at this weekly chart here, guys, and let's actually just look at the flows of this market. And you guys know, right? I talked about me getting into I got in where this monthly bar closed up the top here. This is where I got in, and I'm actually short Tesla right now. I'm been short ever since then as well too. Basically the start of the year, I've been short, and I've got like long-term options as well too. In fact, it was actually a couple weeks ago I rolled those options out to give me even more time. They're in really good profit already, but I think a lot more downside is to come. And now, why did I do that? Well, let me actually just show you this here. Can you see that? Look at this overall flow of the market, because the market is showing you, right? Run up, run down. And then we have a run up, and we have a run down. We have a run up, we have a run down. We have another run up. And guess what here? And now we run back down, we run back up, and now we're fouling through here. I had a stop above the high here, and the market has just continued to run down now. So I've continued to be short on Tesla. And again, guys, this is just an example of how the markets work. And you can see here, guys, if you look at the market again as flows in the market, you can see it flowed up and flowed down. It flowed up again. Look at the major highs and major lows. This major high, and then it ran down, and this was the next major low, and then ran up, made a double top, and then guess what? Made a lower trough, bit of a double top formation. It ran up, it fell through here. This is where I thought, okay, well, likely to fell through here. I got a small stop at a big profit target, and now guess what's happened now? Now we're just still waving down. Yes, we've got these little peaks and troughs in here, but look at the overall flow of the market. Can you see, guys, that by looking at this here, we've had this flow up, and now we're getting this flow down. You can see how it's flowing down. Now that doesn't mean it's going to continue down. That's the reason why we need to keep our eye on the market, because the market can change on a dime. But looking at this weekly chart here, and look at all this 1, 2, 3, 4 last basically month as this market's been selling off, we've been getting some decent selling volume as well too. If we go back to the daily chart, you can see there's been a lot. It's been a lot of volume as well too, as this market's been rolling down. Again, guys, I've been watching this. I've been watching Tesla every single day because I'm in it. And this is just an example, guys, that when we actually watch the market and you start to read these charts, it's like, hey, what is this chart telling me? And and if we do start to change the overall trend, then I'll take that in consideration and see what's going on through there. So, but again, guys, flow with the market, and that's all I say. So again, guys, there's so much to be said about reading charts, as you can see. There really, really is, and that's what I mainly focus that's what I focus on. That's what I put most of my focus on, is trying to read what this overall flow of the market is telling me, because it's in that flow that we can get an insight of what the market is overall telling us. All right, guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this update, guys. Remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today. I'm not going to BS you here. Trading is hard. Over my 10 years of trading, I've learned some amazing systems and strategies, and I've put it all in my brand new Grab the Markets by the Balls course. And I'm giving you 100% free access. This whole course is 12 videos long and almost 10 hours of the best systems and strategies that I know. Click on the image below now to get 100% free access right now.